How do you keep it fresh?
We don't live together.
Oh, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
So much fonder. I see him every 2 weeks.
Imagine being married for almost 20 years, but living in separate homes the entire time. No shared house, no nightly dinners together, no dividing chores, just two lives running parallel, occasionally crossing paths. Sounds wild, right? Well, for actress Cheryl Lee Ralph and her husband, Pennsylvania State Senator Vincent Hughes, this isn't just a reality. It's the foundation of their long-lasting marriage. Their unconventional arrangement has sparked heated debates online, leaving people wondering, is this the future of marriage or just a way to dodge commitment? Let's dive into their story and see what makes this setup tick. Cheryl Lee Ralph is no stranger to blazing her own trail. From her legendary performance as Dina Jones in Dreamgirls to her current Emmy-winning role as Barbara Howard on Abbott Elementary, she's always done things her way. So, it's no surprise that her marriage to Vincent Hughes is just as unique as she is.
We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good. Perfect. I get to be the real good wife.
Cheryl and Vincent's relationship began back in 2005 when she was starring on Broadway in Thoroughly Modern Millie. They met, fell in love, and tied the knot that same year at the historic First African Methodist Episcopal Church in Los Angeles. But here's where things get interesting. Cheryl lived in Los Angeles, focusing on her acting career, while Vincent was firmly planted in Philadelphia as a state senator. Neither was willing to uproot their lives or careers. So, they decided to do something unconventional. They got married but kept their separate homes. Fast forward nearly 2 decades, and Cheryl says this arrangement has been the key to their marital success. When I see him, I'm so happy to see him. And when I leave, I'm just as happy because I know I'll see him again, she said in an interview. For Cheryl, this setup isn't just practical, it's ideal. He has his own light to stand in, and I have mine. We're not competing, we're thriving together. Their story has drawn a mix of reactions from fans and critics alike. Some people think Cheryl and Vincent are living the dream.
It's not true at all. If you're going to write things, just try to get it close to right. We've been married 18 years and together 21 years. We live together on and off. In that I'm shooting Abbott Elementary in LA, he's at the Capitol every week, so we see each other in between. Is that my man? Am I booed up? Do we enjoy cuffing season? Yes.
The ideal marriage is two individuals living completely separate, fulfilling lives, and coming together to maximize their joint sleigh, one fan wrote on social media. Others, however, aren't so convinced. Critics argue that living apart defeats the purpose of marriage. This isn't a marriage, it's just a piece of paper and casual hookups, one commenter said. But Cheryl is unbothered by the negativity. In her eyes, her marriage doesn't need to fit anyone else's definition. We've been married for 18 years and together for 21. Some people can't even last 2 years living under the same roof, she said, adding a playful laugh. Cheryl and Vincent's unconventional union is built on mutual respect, independence, and communication, qualities she believes are the real keys to a successful marriage. Interestingly, Cheryl isn't alone in her views. Relationship experts say that living separately can actually benefit some couples. Lisa Marie Bobby, a relationship psychologist, says that couples who live apart often experience more excitement and passion when they're together.
So it just worked out that I was in California, he was in Philadelphia, and every 2 weeks we saw each other, and it worked out well, and it has continued to work out well. We will celebrate 20 years of marriage, thank you, and some people can't even get through 2. So it's all good.
The time they spend together tends to be more intense and enjoyable because they're not bogged down by the everyday stresses of cohabitation, she explained. Cheryl herself has echoed this sentiment. Every time we meet, it feels special, she said. We've learned how to cherish our time together and not take each other for granted. This sentiment has kept their relationship fresh for nearly 2 decades, even as they've juggled busy careers and personal challenges. However, Cheryl acknowledges that their arrangement isn't for everyone. She admitted that it likely wouldn't work if they had children together. Raising kids requires a different kind of partnership, she said. But with her 2 children from her previous marriage already grown, Cheryl and Vincent have been able to focus on maintaining their connection in a way that works for them. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Some people think living separately might be a sign of a deeper issue, like infidelity or a lack of commitment. Cheryl isn't having it. People love to speculate, but our business is in the bedroom. Thank you very much, she said with a smile. She also pointed to other long-lasting couples with similar arrangements, like Dolly Parton and her husband.
I've evolved into saying, let's talk about it. If you sit in problems, you get anxious, depressed, and all the juiciness in life starts to dry up. I can't have that because all of that will mess with my good look.
Dolly's been married for over 50 years, and you've never seen her husband. Why? Because they figured out what works for them, and that's what Vincent and I have done. Of course, the internet has been buzzing with opinions. Some people see Cheryl and Vincent's arrangement as groundbreaking. The nuclear family model has warped how we view relationships. If living apart works for them, more power to them, one commenter said. Others are taking notes for their own relationships. I was thinking about separate bedrooms for me and my future husband, but separate houses? Cheryl is 85 steps ahead of me. On the flip side, skeptics are quick to dismiss their marriage as unconventional to a fault.
In fact, Cheryl believes that their relationship has thrived because of the way they have maintained their own separate lives, both professionally and personally. She also acknowledged that the arrangement would have been very difficult if they'd had children together, but it was not a problem with her and Vincent's lifestyle.
Marriage is about unity, one critic argued. You don't get married to live separate lives. This just sounds like a glorified friendship with benefits. Despite the controversy, Cheryl and Vincent's bond remains strong. Cheryl says one of the secrets to their success is addressing issues head-on. After her first divorce, she learned the importance of open communication. If you sit in problems, you get anxious and depressed, she said. I've evolved into saying, let's talk about it. That's what keeps our marriage alive. So, is Cheryl Lee Ralph and Vincent Hughes' marriage unconventional? Absolutely. But is it working for them? Without a doubt. As Cheryl says, marriage isn't one size fits all. We've found what works for us, and that's all that matters. What about you? Do you think living separately is the future of marriage? Or does it miss the mark on what being married is all about? Are Cheryl and Vincent redefining what it means to be a couple? Or are they just breaking tradition for the sake of it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out our next video for more juicy stories.